shoulder feel?
Shoulder feels good. Something I was battling during training camp last year, and now kind of full off season to get the recovery process going. And sitting out during training camps, it's got its gives and takes, but having full healthy training camp, I feel like it's just going to put us and our offensive line in such a better position. So staying healthy, I think, is the key, and I feel like we've been progressing super well as a offensive line and as an offensive unit, and I'm excited for what we got going.
Can you tell you're not starting? Like, you were new last year, Illuminor was new last year. Could you tell that you're not starting from scratch as a 5-man unit?
Definitely. I think having that first year under our belt, especially with the entire O-line room with Carm and James in there, and we kind of have an overhaul as the offensive line, the guys in there, and we've had a full 2 off-season programs, full 2 training camps, a full off-season with each other, and everybody's super comfortable. It's a great group of guys. Everybody works super hard. Carm works just really hard, takes care of us, but when it's time to go and we're in the team periods, guys just playing for and with each other, and it's really inspiring to kind of see the difference where we're at from last year compared to this year.
Jon, you've obviously been in this league a long time. The idea of training camp and how perspective changes, I would imagine through the years. The idea of the focus is always week 1 of the regular season, but I guess for every player, every unit, every team, it's different. When do you start that focus? How do you know the balance of to pull back a little bit, to push forward? You're not seeing what you want after only 8 practices. How do you kind of toe that line as far as a veteran and even as a group?
Yeah. Right now at this point, week 1 at Washington's, it's something you think about, but it's really in the back of our mind. Our mentality as a offensive line unit and as an offense is we're taking it day by day, where we're competing against our defense, which is, in my opinion, probably going to be one of the best defensive units in the NFL. So going out there and proving to ourselves and to our offensive unit that we can compete with these guys at a high level, and showing it consistently on a day in and day out basis, and not even worrying about who our opponent's going to be, because we necessarily can't control that. So as long as we're getting ourselves better, we're getting our teammate better, we're sharpening each other's abilities, that's all that we can really ask for, and not necessarily even looking towards joint practice or preseason 1 yet. Just taking it day by day, focusing on getting better.
How frustrating was ending last season on IR for you? I think you had always been healthy.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the reasons they brought you here, actually,
Yeah.
is because they were looking for guys who are durable, and you end up your first season on IR.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I haven't missed a game my entire career. Going down the home stretch the last month of the season last year and sitting on IR definitely wasn't, what I had planned or something that I was really, happy about, but couldn't really control it. For me, I just kind of try to take that as a mental reset for me, trying to really dig in on, what I could be doing to make myself better physically and mentally, and felt like I had a pretty strong off-season recovering from that, and same with going into OTAs and now in training camp, and kind of feel really good right now, and hopefully, our entire team comes out of this training camp healthy and we're able to keep the ball rolling from where we're starting in training camp.
Obviously, everybody wants Andrew Thomas to be healthy.
Yeah.
The numbers the last 2 years, you were only here for one of them. When he plays and when he doesn't are starkly different.
Yeah.
How the 4 of you other starters, whoever has been brought in, Hudson, how do you feel like you're better equipped if Andrew misses a game or 2 this year to survive than the Giants have been in the past?
Yeah, to answer your question in short, I think we are. I think we are preparing for whatever that scenario may be. Andrew is probably the cornerstone of this offense, and one of the longest tenured Giants on this team right now. So having him out there, and he's a premier left tackle in this league. So when he's out there, he leads his offensive unit, and having out there makes us that much better. But it's not just him, just across the board. It doesn't matter. I went down, guys stepped up around me. So we're really focusing on, we're not necessarily caught up in what's happening with, Andrew and his injury, but we're just trying to build up our offensive line. So, because, in the NFL, offensive line injuries happen all the time, and it's an unfortunate part of the game. But it's the next to man up mentality, and that's the kind of mentality we have as offensive line. And next guy in there's got to do just as good a job as the guy who was before him, and that's what we're carrying.
What have you seen from Evan as he's transitioned to guard?
Yeah, transitioning from tackle to guard. I did it, from a different level. I played tackle in college and moving inside to guard. The three interior positions are kind of a different world. Tackle, you kind of, you're out in space and you have the luxury of running defensive ends just kind of up the field past the quarterback. But at guard, you're kind of, you're in a wrestling match, like kind of in a phone booth, and you got to stay in front of the guys. You got to anchor. You got to set the depth of the pocket. And Evan, when he has those, you see those flashes of him when he gets his feet under control and he's punching. He's a large human, and not many people are able to, bull rush him and set him back. So Evan's doing a good job. He's progressing. It is like a world of difference moving from outside to inside, in my opinion. But I think he's done a good job so far in training camp, and can only see him getting better from here. So it's been inspiring to see what he's done so far in there.
Take a few more.
Jon, people have talked about how defensive interior linemen have changed through the years, different sizes and shapes. For you, I know you've seen a lot of 51 in this camp. What has Abdul showed you as a rookie, and how different is it to see a guy of that caliber kind of taking his shots on the interior?
Yeah, I think they have a rush package on the defense in practice where, they've been doing a lot of things with him. They've been using him really similar to, how they use Burns here. And they're super similar players, but they also have their own unique styles that they play with. And for a rookie coming in here, he's got fantastic bend, unreal quicks and speed. So being out there, especially when he comes inside, that's not his natural home. But when he gets in there, I think he'll be able to cause a lot of havoc in there on the inside when he goes against guards. I'm really excited to see our rush package, go to use. We're playing other teams in a 2-minute drill, and whoever they have in there, Kayvon, Burns, Abdul, Dex, Roy, Nacho, whoever's in there, it's gonna be a lot of pass rushes, and it's gonna be interesting to see how it works out. And Abdul's been awesome.
You mentioned his traits. I'm just curious, why is he such a difficult matchup for a guard on the interior?
Yeah, because at guard you really have to stay in front of people and mirror them. Like I was saying earlier, at tackle you can kind of play inside out and run them by the quarterback, and at guard you really have to cover guys up. So a guy who's as shifty as Abdul, and he can give you a really quick hesitation left right and kind of stutter your feet, and next thing you know he's already around you. So being able to match that speed on the inside is something that you're not really used to when you're going against big guys that don't obviously move like that are more inclined to work bull rushes with their hands. When you get Abdul there, he's trying to work an edge around you, and that's just kind of a different thing that you're seeing on the inside. So I think he's gonna keep progressing there on the inside and use that to his advantage. And I'm excited to see it go against other guys. But it's been awesome going against him, trying to train myself and make both of our each other better.
Last one.
What about Russ? Playing with Russ, and what's that been for you?
Yeah.
You obviously, we know your time in Green Bay. You had another Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm just curious what your impressions of Russ has it matched up to what you anticipated?
Yeah, Russ has been great for our offense. Coming in here, he's really stepped into that leadership role. I feel like he was someone that we really needed to bring in here. He's been great bringing this offense together, extra offensive unit meetings, kind of really getting guys on the same page and seeing the game and seeing the field how he sees it. And I just can't talk enough about how good of a leader he is to the young guys, to the vets, and bring everybody together. And just every day he's the same person and brings that consistency. And I think that's something we need around here, and he's been awesome for that. So I got nothing but great things to say about Russ.